Okay, so again, the segment addition postulate says something like this. If I have a segment and this segment contains these 3 points, let's say, for example, A, B, and C. Because it's called the segment addition postulate, what do you think is true?
Yeah.
Adding them all up. What in the world does adding them all up mean?
You're adding both things up.
Adding, oh, that clarifies, adding all the things up. Really? Someone please tell me, think about it. I have a segment and the segment is divided into two segments. What is true? The segment addition postulate. By name, we are adding segments, correct?
Mhm.
So everybody should be able to tell me that AB plus BC is equal to what? Is equal to AC. How obvious is that? That is called the segment addition postulate. All right. The two parts equal the whole. That's essentially what it says. The two parts equal the whole, which I know everybody kind of understands, but that's kind of like the formal name. The segment addition postulate. AB plus BC must equal AC. Now, the other thing is that generally they will say that B is between A and C. All right. And some geometry books call it betweenness. All right. I personally like the segment addition postulate. All right. Now, A, B, and C must be collinear. What's collinear mean again? On the same line. So A, B, and C are collinear. Always AB plus BC will equal AC. All right. With that little bit of information now. All right. We're going to go ahead and just kind of write the answers is fine for now. As we go down the page, they get a little bit harder. All right, but this is just to make sure you have the basic understanding. So CD is equal to what? 3.8. I like it. 3.8. All right, now if we look at RS, everybody should be able to tell me that RS is obviously what?
2.4.
Yeah. All right, 2.4 centimeters. We're good with that. All right, now let's take a look at question number 3. Find the value of X and BC if B is between C and D. Now, for me personally, all right, it's easier if you just draw it out. B is between C and D. And now you can label it CB is 2X and BD is 4X. And then BD is 12. All right, so that's why it's important to kind of label it, because if BD is 12, then we automatically know that what? X is equal to what first? 3. And then it says find X and what? BC. So then we would say that BC is equal to what? 6. I agree. Very easy. All right. Anybody have any issues? Now, because it's the same on your paper, if you have it drawn out, then you can say that CB plus BD equals CD. Does everybody agree with that? So now I'm okay if you can visualize it, all right, or if you have the drawing, you should be able to say that if I add the X's, that's what?
7X.
7X, and then minus 4 equals 17. Now, of course, because you guys are brilliant, we just go ahead and say X equals what?
3.
X equals 3. All right, no reason to add 4 divided by 7. I'm assuming everybody in here is great at that. Now we have to make sure we answer the question. We need to find BC. All right, so BC is the same as CB, so we just plug 3 in, and then we know that CB is equal to what?
3.
Everybody okay with CB equals 3 as well?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody have any questions with that? I'm listening.
Phoebe, I thought we had to find the value of BC. It's the same thing.
That was Jocelyn, by the way.
No.
Oh, sorry, it was Ava.
Oh.
Okay, here we go. Number 5. Somebody help me with XY. What is XY? 8, right? So now on a number line, all right, the distance between 2 points is defined as the absolute value of A minus B. All right, that's the distance between. Now, of course, we don't have to do that. We're smart enough to just say, hey, if I'm at -1 and I go to 7, I've walked 8 spaces. Do everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
All right, but if you notice, the formula does work. If I say -1 minus 7, that's -8. Absolute value of -8 is what? 8. If I do it the other way, 7 minus -1, that's 7 plus 1, 8. Does everybody agree with that? Absolute value of 8 is 8. Everybody's happy with that?
Yes.
All right, so let's check out WZ. Then you guys should all be able to tell me that WZ is how much. Maybe I'm wrong. WZ is what? 9. Come on. Wake up, wake up, wake up. WZ is 9. Anybody have any questions with that? Anybody? Anybody? All right, here we go. So now let's take a look at question number 7. All right, the graduating classes have buried time capsules. All right, the points in the diagram shown the position of the 3 time capsules. Find the distance between each pair. All right, so now who remembers from their summer work the distance formula? What is it?
X2,
Yep,
a radical X2, parentheses X2 plus, no,
minus.
1 squared
Yep,
plus parentheses Y2 minus XY1 squared.
you are brilliant. That is, of course, the distance formula. All right, now what I would like to show you though is I would like to show you how, all right, they come up with that formula. All right, so please, everybody pay attention. All right, I don't like the way that worked. So here we go. All right, now, again, a lot of this is mental math. All right, so please stay with me for a second. We'll review and I'll show you. All right, I really would like everyone to kind of understand how we derive this formula of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So I'll try to make a quick demonstration up here on the board. So everybody put your pencils down. We're not in a big hurry. All right, these problems are pretty easy. Let's go ahead, come over here, and let's say I wanted to find the distance from A to B. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and draw that out. All right, please, this is kind of important. All right, this is kind of the theory. All right, so most of the time we don't teach theory, but here you will get a little taste of the theory. All right, does everybody remember A squared plus B squared equals C squared, right? That is correct. All right, so all the distance formula is the Pythagorean theorem. This point down here, B, we're going to call x1 comma y1. A, we're going to call x2 comma y2. Does everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Right, that's just saying it can be any 2 points. All right, then what we're going to do is we're going to draw. Well, before I do that, I'm going to put this on the other side out of the way. All right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to construct, guess what?
A line.
What kind of triangle?
That's all.
A tall one.
Isosceles.
Someone else, what is that triangle? It's a right triangle. All right, very good. It is a right triangle. All right. So now what I'd like someone to do is I would like someone who's thinking before they speak, all right, to tell me what is the highlighted yellow distance right here? What is that distance? Don't say 2.
The base.
Nope. What is that distance?
How far you're going on X?
That's right, how far you're going on X. And how do we find that distance? Well, no, we're not counting because it can be any two numbers.
You
What,
use the base. determinant.
but how do I calculate that distance?
The distance from,
What?
the.
Yeah, use the x values. What am I doing to the two x values?
You're subtracting them?
You are subtracting them. You are brilliant, girl. All right, so this x coordinate right here, please take a look at this. This is kind of important. Please take a look at this x value right here and this x value right there. This is considered x2. This is considered what? What is this distance right here? Very good. Exactly. It's x2 minus x1. Very nice. I know it's hard to believe. All right. So x2 minus x1 is that distance. All right. Now, because you are paying attention, everyone now should be able to tell me what this distance is. What's that distance called? Wow. Very smart, guys. Y2 minus y1. That is that distance. Everybody agree with that? Right. And this green line is the distance between those 2 points. Everybody agree with that? Right. Now, what's the relationship between d x2 minus x2 minus x1 and y2 minus y1?
That's the total.
Yeah. Well, no, not adding them together.
If you add them together and then do square them.
No. It's a right triangle. So what's the relationship between the sides of the right triangle? What's the relationship?
They're both straight.
Well, okay, here we go. The relationship between the sides of a right triangle. That's the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. So you can call this down here, for example, A. You can call y2 minus y1 b, and d is considered your c. So it's going to be x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared equals d squared equals d squared. All right. That is all it is. All right. Now, what do I do if I want d? Take the square root. That's right. So now we take the square root, and there is our formula. D is equal to the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. That is the distance formula. The distance formula is derived from the Pythagorean theorem. Yes, quickly.
Okay, this might sound bad.
I'm used to it, remember?
Why is it y2 minus y1? Why isn't it y2 plus y1?
What's the distance between 2 points? Do you add them? If you think back up here, what's the distance between 2 points? What did you do to the 2 points? You're welcome. All right. So hopefully now you won't have to try to memorize that formula, but you'll understand. All right. It's just the distance from the x's, difference of the y's. You square them, take the square root. All right. Anybody have any issues with that? All right. Hopefully you wrote that down. I'm not going to ask you to reproduce that, but that is kind of something important. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move that out of the way. And then what I want to do is we're going to find AB. Is everybody agree? We're going to find AB, right? So what technically, and I don't even mind if you do this on your iPad, all right, because that's part of the reason why I like the iPad. It's super helpful. All right. When you construct your triangle, to me, it was easier to construct the triangle, right? And I can say this distance here is what? 2. Does everybody agree with that? And then the y values, if you look at the y values, the distance from 9 to -3 is what? -12 or 12, right? It doesn't matter what direction. Let's say she thought it was -12. Does it matter that we call it -12?
No.
Because we're going to do what? Square it. So the negative becomes a what? Positive. So I'd like everybody to just say, well, 2 squared is what? and 12 squared is,
148.
right, so the distance between them is 148. Exactly. All right, now we are getting help for our future when we take our entrance exams. All right, we need to be able to break down 148. All right, so what perfect square is in 148?
Well. Wait, what? 4.
4 is a perfect square in 148. Does everybody agree with that? So 4 times 4 goes into 14. How many times?
7. I mean, 4.
4 goes into 14. 3. How many left over? So 4 goes into 28. 7. All right, so the distance between those 2 points is what?
2 radical 37.
You are amazing. 2 radical 37. All right, 2 radical 37. Is everybody okay with that? All right, that's how you could use the graph to calculate it real quick. All right, but now let's go over here and just do it using the formula. What?
I'm kind of confused with how you got 37.
4 times 37 is 148, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now let's calculate AC. So here we go. This is how I want you to do it. AC is equal to the square root. What's 4 minus 9?
-5.
5 squared. Remember, I don't care about it being positive or negative. Does everybody agree with me?
Yes.
So we're going to put 25 plus 9 minus 0
9.
squared.
81.
So now 25 plus 81.
106.
106. Now we can divide that by 2. That just makes 53. 53 is prime, so it doesn't break down. Is everybody okay with that? Right, nothing to it. Distance formula is simple. All right, so let's do BC just to show you how simple. BC is equal to the square root. So from 2 to 9 is how much?
7.
7 squared is 49. From -3 to 0 is
3.
3 squared is
9.
49 plus 9. 58. 2 times 29 is 59. They don't, or 2 times 58 is 29, so it doesn't break down. So the square root of 58 is okay. Anybody have any problems with that?
I'm still in process. Yeah.
Anybody have any issues? Anybody? All right, I don't really care about number 10. All right, that's just saying which distance is greater and smaller. How easy is that? Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's look at 15 just to make sure. What do the red lines mean here, guys?
They're all equal.
They're all equal, right? If I would have put 2 tick marks, then what? First 2 are equal and the second 2 are equal. Thank you very much. All right. Anybody have any questions with that? Hold on a minute, guys. Just listen to me. Just listen. I want to help you get through the work. These are easy. I want to get to the harder problems. Do we agree? All right. The easy problems, don't try to get it done. Just listen. I'm trying to make sure you understand that all 4 of those segments are equal, right? Anybody have any questions with that? All right. All right. So those are all easy. All right. So now this, let's go ahead and do 23 together. All right, find the value of the variable and YZ if Y is between, all right, if Y is between X and Z, then what does the segment addition postulate say? Come on, someone be brave.
X.
Say it.
X plus, or X, Y. and
Yes,
plus
XY plus what?
X.
What?
What plus Y?
Plus YZ equals XZ. That's what you need to write down. All right. And if you can't see that, then write it out, draw it out, and put Y between X and Z. So we know that XY plus YZ equals XZ. Is everybody good with that? All right. So let's just do 23 together. So now, to me, this is good mental math for you guys. I'm just gonna go ahead and collect letters, correct? So somebody tell me XY plus YZ, what does that simplify to? 9A plus, or no, minus 2 equals 5A plus 22. Is everybody good with that?
How did you get 9A?
Were you having trouble with 3 plus 6?
Oh, I thought we were on 18.
That's why I got it down here, right under 23.
Okay.
Okay. Now, solving that out, of course, we're great at mental math, so everybody's just gonna tell me A is equal to what? All right, A is equal to 6. Everybody's comfortable with that? Now we have to read the direction. It says find the value of the variable. We did that. A equals 6. And YZ. So then we put right next to it, YZ is equal to what? 38. Any problems with that? What?
I don't understand like how the YZ if Y is between X and Z. I didn't understand.
So all you have to do, if you don't know this, guys, all you do is you draw a picture. Y is somewhere between X and Z. X, Z, throw Y in somewhere. Correct?
Mhm.
Now do you see it?
Yeah.
XY plus YZ equals XZ.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. Good for you, bud.
I have trouble finding out how to find A. Like
For-
what
For
A
number
is.
23. So you want me to just go back and do the algebra again?
Yeah.
Yeah, so remember, we're combining terms, right? So let me go ahead and do this for you. Let me make that a better A. We'll move this out of the way. All right, I know it's been a while. So here was the technique, minus 5A, right? Minus 5A plus 2 plus 2. 4A equals 24. You with me now?
Yeah.
And then A, remember that now, right? A equals 6. Good. Okay, everybody's good with that, right? All right, so let's just look at 29. What is LN? How much is LN?
302.
Hi.
Yeah, come on, guys. Seriously, stop saying things. Answer the question. All right. Find L, find N. Tell me the distance between L and N. All right, that's what? 5. All right. Easy as that. All right, all of those questions are easy. Just take your time. All right, find the distance between the two pair of points. I don't care if you draw the line. I prefer that we don't draw the line. So for example, if I'm going to do 35 with you, here we go. If you want, you can draw it, but you should be able to just write on your paper, D equals the square root. Subtract the x's, or in my opinion, I say from -7 to 3 is how far? 10 squared.
Oh,
100 plus the distance from 5 to -5, 10. All right. Now, here is where I'm trying to help you break down square roots. So instead of saying 100 plus 100 is 200, just say the distance is the square root of 2 times 100. Does everybody agree with that?
yes.
And that way you don't have to break 200 down. There are 200s. Hundreds is already a perfect square. So what is the square root of 100? So distance equals 10 radical 2. Thank you very much. All right. Is everybody happy with that?
Yes.
Okay. So those were all the easy problems pretty much. I want all those done. All right. On your paper. Now we're going to have something a little bit harder. All right. So let's take a quick look at 36 and let me see if I can help you with that. So again, find the value of the variable YZ if Y is between X and Z. So you should get in the habit of saying if Y is between X and Z, then what is true? X, Y
plus Y.
plus YZ equals XZ. And if you're like, man, I can't see that, I understand it. Draw it out. Put Y between X and Z, and then you can see it. All right, so now what do I have here, guys?
X squared plus 10x is equal to
X squared plus 10x equals what? 24. So now what? How do I solve this?
Could you subtract the 24?
You have to subtract the 24. Thank you. X squared plus 10x minus 24 equals 0. Now what do I have to do? Yeah, you have to do the factoring. All right. So how do I break down x squared? Wait a minute, wait a minute. Let's do x and x, right? Now, somebody said 6 and 4, and somebody said 2 and 12. Which one is it?
12 because it's negative.
That's correct. That's correct. Very good. So this is x plus 12 and x minus 2. Does everybody agree? So x equals what? Negative 12 or x equals 2. Now, does x equaling negative 12 make sense? Why? Right, because if I say that's right, because it's distance, distance can't be negative. But you have to look over there and say 10 times negative 12. Does everybody agree that's negative? Distance can't be negative. All right. So negative 12, it's called an extraneous solution. All right. So now x equals 2. All right. So we want also what? YZ. So YZ would be what? YZ equals 20. All right. And we can double check our work because 2 squared is 4. This is 20. 4 plus 20 is equal to 24. Is everybody happy with that? Everybody happy? Okay. Now, 37 is similar to 36. It's a little bit harder factoring problem. All right, so I'm expecting you to do that. All right, now let's, what? Come on, if you have a question.
Is it the question, is it asking us what x, y is equal to, or is it asking us what x?
Find the value of the variable. So we found x, and then, and find yz.
So y z would just be 10x.
And yz is 10x.
So it's just.
All right, there you have it. All right, now let's try to do, these are like little puzzles down here, 38 to 43. So let me see if we can do 43. Everybody do 43. Everybody look at 43. All right, think about it for a minute. Can someone tell me what a good equation would be? Good for you, buddy. Tell me.
JK plus KL equals JN.
Yes, that's JK plus K. No, wait a minute. JK plus KL equals JL. Yeah, this is tricky, guys. This is where you have to think about. Now, remember, what they're trying to show you are the different distances on the line. Does everybody agree with that? So sometimes I think it would be easier for some of us to just go ahead and say, if I put this from here to here, how much is that? 1. Does everybody agree with that? Right, and how much from here to here?
2x plus 11.
2x plus 11, right? And this is 1.
So x plus 19.
Thank you. X plus 19, this whole thing. And is this the only way to do it? No, there's other, your eyes can see it differently. That's why I'm just saying, you have to do the work. All right, your eyes, it's weird. All right, they can be tricky, but that whole length is equal to that whole length. Does everybody agree with that? All right, so what's the other whole length?
2x plus 24.
All right, here we go. Equals 2x plus 24. So if we solve that out, now, is it okay for x to be negative? Yes, it's just the distance can't end up being what?
Negative.
The distance can't end up being negative. All right, so if I were, is that right?
Hopefully.
X equals -5,
Yeah.
right? So if I put -5 in here, -5 plus 18 is the what?
13.
Is the 13. Does everybody agree with that? Which is okay, right? Tell me,
How did you get 24?
'Cause you add
11
your
plus
25.
13, right? This length right here is 13.
Mhm.
Do you agree? So 13 plus 2x plus 11.
Mhm.
You agree with that or not? All right. Good. All right. So x was equal to -5. That's what they're asking. All right.
They want to know that.
No, that's all right. Just find x. All right, just find x. On all those, you're just trying to figure out what x is. All right. Now,
Oh, it's a-
the extra fun. All right, let's take a look at this. All right. Now, the segment overlap theorem. I've never really heard it called the segment overlap theorem, but I thought this was an interesting worksheet, so I went ahead and copied it, and let's see what we're talking about. Now, over here, all right, it says fill in the blanks to complete the segment overlap theorem. PQRS are collinear. So what I'd like everybody to do is I'd like everybody to just go ahead and put PQRS on a line. So let's do PQRS. All right, fill in the blanks to complete the segment overlap theorem. If PQRS are collinear and in the order presented, then the following conditions must both be true. If PQ is congruent to RS, meaning I'm going to mark this right here is congruent to RS, then what two additional segments must be congruent? Come on, someone's thinking. Say it again. QR is definitely congruent to itself. So someone else tell me something. Look at the figure. PQ. Yes, very smart girl. PR is definitely congruent to QS. Very, very good. All right, obviously that's true because look right here, guys. If I label this, for example, X, this would be X. Do we agree? And then QR would be what? We could call that Y. Does everybody agree? From P to R is X plus Y, and from Q to R is Y plus, or from Q to S is Y plus X. Do you agree with that? So that's kind of easy. All right. Now it says if PR is congruent to QS, if PR is congruent to QS, then what is automatically true then? It's kind of like the converse. I'll teach a little bit about that more later, what that means. If this is true, then the reverse of that is also true. Say that again. There you go, girl. Good job. Then PQ is congruent to RS. No. They're saying if this is true, if PQ is congruent to RS, then this is true. And if you also know that PR is congruent to QS, then you automatically know this is true. All right. So congruent. If PQ is 8, let's go ahead and write this out because I didn't make this one up. If PQ is 8 and PR is congruent to QS, then RS is what? 8. Everybody's okay with that? All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and put PR is 12. If PR is 12, is that us? All right, guys, that was a really good job. Try to finish everything up. Tomorrow we'll discuss it. Well, I'm collecting it tomorrow, so I have to collect the work. Yeah, if you're doing the extra fun, because it's extra fun.
Work.
The other was fun. Good job, guys. Great job. Great job.